Turn to municipalities, and actually it's not just Brampton. Midland, Ontario, the mayor, Bill Gordon, says he wants to go it alone and defy the province on ending the speed cam program. Guelph as well, looking at defying the premier. Cam Guthrie, mayor of Guelph, said it's not a cash grab. If it was, then it was the province's cash grab, because they're the ones who started the program and set the regulations for what fines could be imposed for people breaking the law. Breaking the law and getting a fine is not a cash grab. Rowena Santos last night led the charge on Brampton City Council, and the council voted unanimously to ignore the Ford government's ban on speed cameras. Rowena Santos joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
All right. So you've appeared before on our show, I mean, for many reasons, but to talk about speed cams, that's quite something, though, is sort of putting down this, putting your foot down, drawing a line in the sand, whatever you want to say, and saying, you know what, province, screw it. We're going ahead with speed cams in Brampton.
Well, the legislation to ban them has not happened yet. And what we're calling for, similar to what Councillor Carroll was mentioning on the roundtable, is a conversation with the province. And in the meantime, we are actually in Brampton, based on the motion, implementing the accommodations to relieve some of the concerns that the Premier may have. So, for example, in the motion unanimously passed by Council last night, we are only going to limit the cameras in school zones. I don't know about you, John. Did you wake up feeling like Sonny Hayes from F1, or Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious identifying as a driver? I think that the majority of people, when they wake up in the morning, like myself, identify as a parent and as a mother who wants to make sure that my son and my nieces get to school, walk to school safely. And that's what this is about. It is about public safety. And Cam Guthrie in Guelph is correct. It was provincial legislation in 2019 that told municipalities, hey, here's a public safety tool that you could use to keep our streets safe, which is why we invested in it. And in Brampton, it works. Are there some things that need to be changed slightly? Sure. We're doing that now in Brampton based on the motion, including, John, one of the issues you have, which is non-peak hours. So in non-peak hours, we are going to only deal with excessive speeding and stunt driving. And we're hoping that the province will agree with the majority of people in Brampton that they, at the very minimum, need to be around schools.
Okay, so help me out here in understanding jurisdiction and spending. I mean, whether or not there's provincial money involved in these programs municipally, whether or not they have the right to Bigfoot you in the first place. I mean, what happens if you defy the provincial government? What can Doug Ford do to get his way?
Well, I guess he could pass legislation that they originally passed in 2019 that enabled municipalities to use it in the first place and say, hey, thou shalt not use cameras anymore. And if that is the case, given all of these municipalities making accommodations like Brampton, wanting to reach out to the province to have a conversation on standardization of the program, using what works in Brampton, setting speed thresholds, you name it, putting it only in schools. If they still go ahead and ban it, then all of us, all municipalities, including AMO, who's been quite vocal about it as well, we need a refund on our investment, an investment that we would not have made if the province didn't write that legislation in 2019 to begin with. And again, this is about public safety. It's going to put lives at risk, and there will be a lot of parents like myself very upset about it.
And, you're right that this is, well, actually, let's get to the research very, very quickly. You don't have to do a full précis here. But I keep hearing from people saying there's no proof that they work. There's plenty of proof. I mean, one of the studies was actually done by the Hospital for Sick Kids.
Yeah, there's studies from Sick Kids Hospital, TMU, the Canadian Automobile Association, the Traffic Research Injury Research Foundation, which has national and international evidence showing that it saves lives. The chiefs of police in Ontario are all behind this. I don't know. And our data in Brampton shows that with speed cameras, people are becoming more compliant. God forbid people follow the law. Especially around schools. In Brampton, I think one of the challenges, John, are the inconsistencies among municipalities. There are some municipalities who did it wrong, who did not implement thresholds. But in Brampton, we implemented a very reasonable threshold. And in fact, the average speed that people are going when they're in Brampton speeding and getting a speeding ticket is over or near 16 kilometers an hour over the posted speed limit. In Brampton, the school zone is 40 kilometers an hour. So people are traveling through school zones at 56 kilometers an hour. If you hit a kid at 56 kilometers an hour, they're probably going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Rowena, good luck. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, John.
And Rowena Santos and the Brampton City Council, obviously, are going to run afoul of Doug Ford.